So rule-based security group is nothing but security group that works based on the rule actually. Okay. So whatever rule that you have defined will be
Mhm.
your security group will get permissions based on that rule. Now let's take a scenario. Okay. Now we have I think we have done for a location-based security group. Now we'll little
Right.
bit tweak that scenario. Okay. So in that location-based security, what we have done, all the specific location employees should get access to add vaccination, right? So
Right.
let's take Bangkok. Okay. So if you want to have all the Bangkok employees to get access to manage vaccination data into Workday, so you take a Bangkok location, add that to the location-based security group, give permissions, automatically all the employees from Bangkok will get permissions. Okay. So that was the scenario we did, and we tested that one also. Now, similarly, now I don't want to go with the location. I wanted to
Mhm.
have all the US employees should get access to add vaccination to the system. Okay. So I'm not going based on the location. I wanted to have all the US employees. Okay. All the US employees should get access to add vaccination to the system. Okay. So one way is if you can go with a location-based security group, you need to take all the locations of US. You need to take where all your offices are there. Okay.
Mm.
Office is there in Texas. If your office is there in Boston, if your office is there in Dallas, where all your offices are there, you need to group all those locations and create a security group, which is location-based security group. Okay. So if you
Mhm.
go with the rule-based security, you just add a rule where country is equal to yes. Okay. So now we are going
Mhm.
to test that and see. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So you're seeing my screen, right? Now I proxied as Logon. Okay. So if Logon tries to add vaccination, it is not getting the task actually. Now if we see where the country is for Logon,
Okay.
so if you see her contact,
US.
so she is having country as India. Okay. And work contact as China. Okay. And work contact as US also. Okay. So, and we'll see with Jacqueline. Okay, first let's create a secret group, then we can actually find out
Yeah.
employee from US. Okay. So now in order to, I think we've created a couple of backs. So
Okay.
I'll actually begin from the scratch since it's been a couple of weeks. So just to get a kind of fresh understanding what we have done previously, I'll be creating everything from the scratch actually. Okay, so what we wanted to have all the US
Mm.
employees to get permissions to add vaccinations to Workday. Okay. Before you create a rule-based security group, you first need to define a rule task. You first define a rule actually. Then you will take that rule and add to the rule-based security group. Okay. So to
Mm.
create a rule for a security group, there is a task called create security rule task. Okay.
Mm.
This is just for rule-based security group. Okay. This is just for rule-based security
Mm.
that you will be using. Create a security rule is a task that you will be selecting.
Mhm. Is the enrollment is down or what? Okay.
I don't know, Workday just got from refresh, right?
Yeah. No.
But
Yeah.
Workday just back from the refresh, the performance will be little
Mm.
not that focused. It will be little low actually.
Oh, got it.
Okay. So now what we wanted to have access constraint rule, membership rule actually. Okay. So constraint rule where you wanted to go with the limitations. Okay.
Right.
Membership rule is nothing but so all the employees from that particular country or from particular rule that you're selecting, right? Everyone will
Mm.
be part of that. Okay. So membership rule is what you prefer to have whenever you wanted to have without any restriction access. Okay.
Okay.
So business object, generally country is nothing but worker data only, no? So country is nothing but it will be existing from worker only. So I'm selecting worker as a business object here. Okay. So mostly it will be worker only. Okay. So now I'm
Mhm.
taking worker as a kind of object. So what I'm doing now, I'm creating a rule actually. I'm creating a rule that should be added as a input for the security group, rule-based security group. Okay.
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 Yeah.
So the name should be okay. Here I'm specifying what rule that I need to give. Okay.
Okay.
Since I wanted to have all the employees from US, right, should get access to manage their vaccination data. So in worker business object, we have okay. When you're explaining any security skills to any interviewer, you need to tell all these things. You have created a role-based security group, you have created a user base, you have created a location, you have created a rule-based security group. So when someone asks, can you explain any kind of typical activity that you have done for each security group? What all the
Mm-hmm.
activity that you're doing, right? You need to explain them. Okay.
Okay.
So now we have created, by selecting country, we have created a rule now. Okay.
Okay.
So this is going to be input for your rule-based security group. Okay.
These security groups are all created by partners, right? While creating, implementing, because rule based on the demand, and we create or
So
like it's all.
this will be based on requirement. No? So even after go live, you might be getting a requirement. Okay. So when you get a
Okay.
requirement, you should be able to. So your business might say, so can we get permissions just for this particular group of employees? Okay. Just for this
Okay.
particular group. If you wanted to restrict, how you will restrict? You need to define a rule, no? Let's say
Yes.
contractors should only have permissions, or employees only should have permissions, or employees from this country should have permissions, okay, or employees of this job profile should have permissions. So for all these kind of scenarios, you can define rule like this, okay, whatever rule that we have defined. Right now, we have taken country as US. So in the space, if you wanted to give specific, you know, management level. Okay, if you wanted to give specific position, if you wanted to give specific role, okay. So all those things you can add as a rule actually. But remember,
Mm.
whenever you're creating a rule-based security group, the fields that you're selecting here has to be from worker, has to be from mostly worker only you'll be selecting. Then the candidate, the other one is something related to learning actually. You don't need to worry
Mm.
about the other two, but in 100% of cases, you will be selecting the fields from the worker business object. Okay.
Mhm.
The rule that you will be defining, right? So will be
Yes.
from the worker business object. Okay.
Okay.
So now we have created a rule now. Now this rule should be added for the rule-based security group. Okay. Now we can go for create security group task. Create a security group. Rule-based security group. Okay. Where you'll be adding rule as a input actually. Okay.
Okay.
So here you need to add the rule that you have created. Whatever rule that we have created, right? You
Right.
need to add that.
That the rule we create is baseline security group.
Yeah, based on the set group. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have created. So since we wanted to get all the US employees, no?
Right.
Employees from US should be getting access. So what we'll do is we'll select employee as self-security group because they need to add the vaccination into the system because that is going to be self-service task for employees. Okay, employee as self-security group where all the employees will be part of the security group. So we are adding this one and then we'll actually add the rule that we have created. Okay.
Okay.
So include membership members by rule is what we'll be selecting and whatever we have selected here, right? This rule you can actually add. Okay. So now what this will do? This will give access for employee self, but that will be restricting for US employees because we have added a rule here, no? For all countries should be US is what we have added. So here what this will be doing? This will be getting all employee self, all the employees who are part of this security group will be getting permissions. But again, in the rule, it's going to filter. Okay. Amongst all the employees, it is going to filter for employees who are from United States. It's going to filter.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's going to do. Okay. Now click on OK. Okay. So now click on OK. So that will apply the filter for the rule that we have created. You understood now the difference? So
Yes.
first, we have created a rule-based security group, which will
Mm-hmm.
looking for United States of America. Okay. Then we have created a rule-based security group. In that rule-based security group, who should have access to perform
Only
the job?
USM.
Employees should have access. So we have taken employees. Among us, those employees, who should get access? Only US employees should get access. That's where we actually filtered with the
Mm.
rule actually.
Okay.
Now, for this one, we are going to add permissions actually. Okay. So go to related actions, security group, maintain domain permissions. Vaccination. Okay. That is one thing. The other one is BP colon sorry, BP colon sorry. You're going to this business process because adding a vaccination is nothing but initiation, no?
Mhm.
Adding the vaccination to the system is nothing but initiating. We are just initiating a transaction, right? So for that, we need to give initiation permission. Go to the BP policy and in the initiation action, take the security group that you have created, all US employees for vaccination. Add this. Now activate this one. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead and activate. Testing the security group. So since we have added both domain and BP security policies, both tabs are coming up while activating. Okay. Now I'll proxy out a slogan because we have given access for all the US employees, no?
Yes.
By adding country. Now anyone who is part of US country should be getting permissions. Okay. Now let's take Jacqueline. Jacqueline, we take Jacqueline, country. I think she must be from US, I believe. Her location is San Francisco. Okay, should be okay. And contact. If we remove
Okay.
the security group, she'll not be. Okay, let's do again one more testing. And the BP. So, or we'll proxy as one more employee.
Okay. Banking.
Thailand employee. Okay. Let's see.
Yes.
So this should not work actually. Because
She's not part of
it is
US.
just for US, no?
Yeah.
I think because of refresh, I think tenant is little slow.
Oh, okay.
I'm proxying as this employee. Ideally, this employee should not have access. Okay. Because we have just restricted for US country, right? Let's see if she is able to access or not. She's not able to access a task
And
called add my vaccination. Okay. She's not able to add. Jacqueline was able to add, no? Jacqueline was
right.
getting add my vaccination task she was getting. But this employee, since we did not add that particular rule to Thailand, she's not able to. Okay.
She's not able
If
to.
you're going to, if you wanted to extend, you can extend. Okay. You can just add one more country to the list. But how you need to make a rule is what we have seen actually. So the rule can be anything. You can add multiple things, multiple groups also. Okay. So it's just a kind of condition rule actually. Okay. So you can make or operator, you can add single condition, multiple conditions you can add and make your rule-based security group work accordingly.
Right.
Okay. So now what you can do is you can create as it is. Okay. First you practice whatever we are doing in the session. Okay. Then what you can
Mhm.
do is apart from what permission that we have given, you can actually explore by adding other things so that you'll have some content to actually summarize and deliver in your interviews.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Okay.
And-
Or you can make this as one summary. Okay. This is one summary. Give with
okay.
the activities that we have done. Okay. Let's make a kind of summary what we have done so that you'll be clear with the steps. Okay. What did we do first?
So we need to create as a group. Okay.
First, we need to create a rule actually. Okay.
Full- yeah.
Okay. Create a
Group.
security rule. Okay. So here in this case, created a rule
Done.
that handles country.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Then second, what we have done, we have created
Group.
rule-based security group. Okay. Create a rule-based security group. So what we did, what we have done here, we added first instance who has to get an access. Okay. So Singaseni does not have access to view security group, right? She's getting some error. Stop. Let's see. Because she is not a security administrator, no?
Right. Through location based, might be she also have access this Singwa. So what will happen in that scenario? Both will see, right? Let's say somebody we have given access to already this this lady through location based.
Security group.
So the same thing, location based, we have added our add vaccination.
Yeah, if you have given location based security for all the Bangkok employees, and then you also add it for US country through rule based security group, all Bangkok employees will get access and US employees will get access. Only difference is in the location based security group, you've added all the locations. In the rule based security group, you just added country.
Okay.
There's only
Okay. They will get, right, even though we added system. So system in the sense like
they'll be getting access.
Okay.
Based on the location, they'll be getting access, and based on the country that you've added in the rule based security group, they'll also will get access. Okay. Just taking time.
Still, even the offline environments also, like this is not going to refresh, right, all the time. I mean, never, still have issues.
What is that?
So we haven't refreshed this environment, right? Whatever the tenant we are using.
Still, even if tenant is not getting refreshed, this will go for maintenance actually. Okay, this will be down. Okay, so all the Workday tenants will be down. Okay, once even this has not gone for refresh, still it went for maintenance window, right? It went for maintenance window. So what Workday will be doing is they will not be doing any kind of maintenance for this one. They will not be doing any kind of refresh for this one. But what they'll do is they'll do some kind of performance scanning. Okay, if there are any kind of patchworks on any functionality that they need to do. Okay, let's take for example. So connectors. Okay, so there is a topic called connector. There is a concept called connectors. Okay, there was a bug in that connectors concept. Okay, so what Workday has thought, like as part of this maintenance window, let's do that patchwork for that connector across all the tenants. They'll not do a single tenant actually, because that's a functionality. Functionality should be same in all the tenants, right? It will not be in one tenant. It will not. It will work in another tenant. It's not that it should not work, bro. So whenever they're making patchworks, whenever they're making updates to any kind of functionality of Workday, they'll apply all those functionality updates to all the tenants, even if it is GMS, even it is implementation, even it is sandbox, production, preview, all the tenants, whatever they have, right? They'll be pushing that development patchwork to all the tenants. So in that way, so they'll have a kind of compatibility with that feature in all the tenants. Okay. So if they're not giving that kind of patchworks to this GMS tenant, so in our real-time experience, we'll be seeing that working. But when we are practicing in GMS tenant, that might not work because the development was not being made in the tenant. So that should not be a kind of issue with Workday. So what they'll be doing is they'll be updating all the tenants with the patchwork that they'll be doing. Okay. So that's the reason, even if it is not going for any kind of maintenance activity, refresh activity, still they'll be doing any kind of performance assessment, any kind of bugs that needs to be fixed, any kind of patchworks to be updated, all those things Workday will be making to all the tenants. Okay. That's the reason we will not find any tenant available during the maintenance window. Though the tenant is not going for maintenance activity, still that will be down during the maintenance window time.
Okay, got it. Only difference between the tenant what we are using in the production environment, the data won't refresh, right? That's the only main difference. Because
for this tenant,
yeah, the tenant data won't refresh because the data is already offline all the time. The training tenant.
Yeah, training tenant data will not get refreshed because this is not connected to your production tenant. No, this is a unique tenant. This is a training tenant where you have all the Workday dummy data. It's not your organization data will have. Production tenant, you'll have your organization data. You'll have your
That's
employee, you'll have your team, you'll have your manager details, you'll have all your company data. But GMS tenant will not have your company data. He'll not have your record. Mean
okay.
that's not a live tenant, no. GMS tenant
Right.
is not a live tenant. It will not have any live information. It will not have any organizational information. It will have some dummy data like Singaseni. Okay, Singaseni is from from a company called GMS Thailand company. Okay, and Logan is from GMS US company. These are all Workday created companies actually. Okay, so you can treat that as a sample data.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
And
Yeah.
listed as US employee to ensure that vaccination task is accessible.
These are the steps.
Then tested as non-US employee.
So this work, let's say we are done doing our implementation tenant, how to roll it out to production, this one, whatever the changes we made, whatever the rule we created.
Security you need to recreate. Okay, you cannot migrate actually.
Oh,
If
we
you
cannot
have
migrate.
much of security configuration, you cannot migrate.
Okay. Other work will migrate, or like what work we can migrate, what work we cannot? Only security groups we cannot migrate?
So security also you can migrate, but what you need to do, you need to combine that as a package actually. Okay. So in any related actions, whatever you create, right? If you go to related actions, you see an option called instance. Okay. There will be an option called instance under favorite action. Under favorite, you'll be finding an option called instance. And when you expand that instance, you'll be getting an option called migrate. Okay. So then you should be able to migrate. Okay. But since security groups individually cannot migrate, you can create a package actually. Okay. You need to create a security package. Okay. Configuration package you can make and move bunch of security groups. Bunch of security groups you can actually migrate. If you wanted to move only one security group, it will take same time if you create in production, recreate in production. So no need of migrating single security group, you can recreate that. If you have 10 security groups, so combine all those 10 security groups into one configurator package and move that actually. Okay. So that comes with customer central tenant. Have you heard something called customer central tenant?
I heard from you only, like while we were discussing, right?
Oh, customer central tenant is nothing but which is used for migrations actually. Okay. So when you actually migrate, when you select that configurator package, I don't know whether this task is applicable in this GMS tenant, create configurator package. There's that. This tenant does not have that. Let me proxy as Logon. So what all the configuration that you cannot migrate, right? You can actually create a package and do migration.
Okay.
But security groups typically, one security group or two security group which we created will typically not migrate. Okay, we'll be recreating them actually.
So even any task we can use like the configurator environment to migrate, or like any
tasks you cannot migrate. Okay. Task anyways, with security you'll be getting actually. Okay. So any configuration, let's say you've created absence plans. Okay. So for 10 countries, you have created 10 absence plans. And if you wanted to, for creating again 10 plans in production might take time. So if you wanted to migrate all those things, you can actually create a configurator package and migrate them to the target tenant actually.
Mhm.
No, I think not finding the task in this list actually. Let's see if the task is there. We set for second page. This trainer does not have the task actually.
Okay.
It's security configuration. This should work actually. And there is one more thing called configurator package. Yeah, this is there. But I think only implementer have permissions, I believe. Okay. This tenant only implementers have, but we can actually assign permissions to any security group. Okay. So this tenant, we don't have permissions actually.
Mhm.
So once we extend these permissions, you should be getting permissions to create this configurator package. Okay. So we'll be getting this task. We can actually migrate group of configuration items to this configurator package and do. Or if
Mm.
you're just going with security related thing, create a security configurator package, bundle all the security groups or security stuff that you wanted to migrate, and use a custom
No.
central tenant to deploy action.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that's with rule-based security group. Okay. So practice that thing and explore
One
the
question.
different
Can,
options for the rule.
if you don't
Okay.
mind, can you go back to the notepad, what you created, right?
Yeah,
So
you
can
can
you,
just take a snapshot of this one.
one second, if you don't mind, can you, for the fourth step, sir, can you show one more time the added domains and BB security initiation transaction, that step, fourth step, one
You
more
want
time,
to show this in tenant?
the tenant. We just added the one.
Yeah. This is the security group that we have added to the business process security policy for initiation task.
Okay.
Okay. On the domain,
Mm.
we've gone to the security group and added domain. Okay. Domain is not required. Even if you want to add domain also, that should work. But since we are talking about entire vaccination, I went and added maintain domain security policies and then added vaccination self-service. Okay.
Self-service.
Yeah. So this, even if you won't add this also, whatever we thought, right, that will work actually.
Okay.
But this will give self-service access. Okay.
Where can we get this self-service vaccination? Like, no, so how big you got idea? That's why you added it. Like, no, if you don't know
So
how to do.
because since adding a vaccination, okay, adding a vaccination to employee workday profile is a self-service task. No, if you're seeing your compensation, that is your self-service task. If you're creating your goal, that's a self-service task. Okay. So
So, okay.
since adding a vaccination is also a kind of task that employee needs to add, so that is a self-service task. No? So we have all the self-service domains actually. Okay.
Do we need to add all of them like while creating these groups
No,
or
we are just wanted to know vaccination only. No, we're not talking about all, right?
no, other related if you are adding some other
Yeah.
tasks?
If you wanted to go with other, you can do. Okay. If you wanted to make any kind of compensation related things,
Okay.
you can actually go. So let's say if you think that only create position task is there. Okay. Create position. So if you go for domain, right, you will find all the self-service domain. Okay. Let me show you all the self-service domain. These are all the self-service tasks. Okay. If you're adding this one to any employee, they can view their own benefits. If you add the
Okay.
compensation, they can view their own compensation. If you add organization name and all, they can view their name, they can view their organization, they can view their payroll. Okay, all these things they can manage as a self-service task. So what this will do is, as an employee, if you wanted to access your own benefits, you'll be getting self-service benefits permissions. Okay. Basically, for
Mhm.
all employee as self-security group, all these permissions will be assigned. Since
I'm glad.
employee as self-security group is there, no? So that
Okay.
security group at the implementation stage, all these domains will be assigned because as an employee should
Mm.
have access to view their benefits. Employee should have access to view their compensation, should have access to view their payroll. So all these things at implementation stage, implementer will be assigning all this
Mhm.
self-service domain to employee as self-security groups. Okay. So this will not give permissions to view another employee benefits. This will not give
Okay.
permissions to view another employee payroll. It will give just view their own payroll actually.
So that's already defined in employer self. That
No,
security.
no, that will not be defined. You need to employee itself is a delivered security group that will be provided by Workday with empty. There will be no permissions actually.
Oh, okay.
There will be no permissions, but at the implementation stage, you will be
Okay.
deciding or your business will be deciding what
Mm.
employee should have access for. Okay. So once the decision is made to employ a self-security group, all this self-service
Mm.
domains will be added.
Got it. Okay. Understood.
Yeah. So now what we've done, since self-service vaccination is something that we wanted to give for US employees, we've added this one.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the only difference. Even if you won't give also, whatever we
Got it.
plan will work actually because we wanted to have employee to add vaccination. Add vaccination, how employee will be getting? From the business
Yes.
process initiation permissions.
Mhm.
Okay. That way your
Okay.
understanding has to be.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So self-service, we know that it will give self-service access. Okay. Now if you go for worker, if you go for this kind of domains, worker data,
Okay.
so it will give access to view other worker data. Okay. If you get worker data benefits, okay, there is a domain called worker data benefits. Okay.
Okay.
So there is a domain called worker data benefits. Worker data so it is going like this. So these are all worker data domains. If you give worker data benefits to any security group, that will give permissions to view another employee benefits data. There is similarly called worker data compensation, worker data payroll, worker data performance. Okay. You will have all these kind of domains. When you add these domains to the security group, that will give access to view other employee compensation data, other employee payroll data, other employee performance data.
Mm-hmm. So something is wrong.
That's the difference between worker data and self-service.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
So tomorrow when we try to connect, right,
Yeah.
what we'll do, we'll create an intersection security group, so which will be combining multiple security groups. Okay. So that is also one of the important security group.
Okay.
If you are well with all these things, you're good with the security. Okay. You can say that you're a security expert.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of things are there. Yeah. To everything.
So if
Yeah.
you
Sure.
understand the concept, the other
Yeah. Yeah.
things will make sense actually. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
So if you're not understanding the concept, okay,
Yeah.
then that will be blank. Even if you create a security groups, just what we create in the session, for that
Yeah.
moment you will be understanding, but later on, you'll not be getting proper understanding. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Just
And
the concept. Okay.
sure, definitely, I'll do that. One question, like maybe, like what other areas, like even I started applying, but no reply from yet. So maybe I highlighted, like even as I mentioned, right? So what other areas, like I know definitely I need to go, like refresh my integrations. So any other things, like that you mentioned right earlier, even whatever I
So
have, those are the
current
things.
Workday market is looking for unique skill set actually. Okay. So if you're
Okay.
just going with security, so there might be one or two positions that you might have seen, but will be restricted to only one or two. Okay. But if you wanted to have overall, Workday market that you wanted to hit Workday market is, you need to have a combination of skills. You need to be expert in reporting. You need to be expert in integrations. You need to be expert in the security. You need to know how business process works. You need to know how HCM system works. Okay. You need to have all this understanding if you wanted to hit entire workday market. If you just
Okay.
wanted to hit the market, only security positions are there. Whatever you have learned so far, that should be okay.
Yeah, it's hard to find those positions nowadays. Like, what
Yeah,
are the models?
I told you, in the beginning only I told you, you'll not find many security positions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Other areas, like I was looking benefits also. What are the important module? Like at least like I can work integrations. I know more important.
Benefits and payroll, you'll be
Uh-huh.
working on only integrations. Okay.
Okay.
So most of the work will be on integrations, but if you wanted to be configurator in benefits area, you need to have
Mhm.
some kind of configuration like creating benefit plan, okay, creating healthcare plans, creating benefit providers, all this kind of understanding you need to have.
Okay. What level they will ask? Like let's say I have benefits experience. They will ask like
They'll not
they,
ask all these things, so because no one will be expert in benefits. No one will
oh,
be expert in payroll configuration. Okay. So all interviews will be based on your core skill set actually. Okay. Integrations, reporting, okay, and HCM, security, calculated
oh,
fields, integrations, custom integrations. So most of the interview will be going on this core skill set actually. Okay. Even if they
mm,
have benefits position, no one will have an expertise in benefits actually. Okay. So only
mm,
specific people who get a chance to work in that area will get understanding on the benefit configurations actually. Okay. Not everyone will
mm.
be getting a chance to work on all the modules and all the configurations, right?
So even benefits also somebody will configure, right? So only thing what exactly we will do in like benefits also I was going over. So
Benefits mostly Workday team will be involving in integrations. Okay, because every year, end of the year, there will be open enrollment. As part of open enrollment, data has to go to external systems. Open enrollment, as part of open enrollment, technical work will be sending data to vendor systems. Configuration work will be configuring benefit plans, new vendors, okay, modify existing plans, change the eligibilities. All those things will be part of benefits action.
got it. Okay.
Okay.